Today is going to be big. Apes, mutants, dogs, oh my. Ape Coin is finally here.
We are going to cover everything you need to know about ApeCoin, what it is, how to claim it, what this means for the NFT and crypto world. The biggest news of the day. You don't want to miss this show. Everyone is going ape, Stanley.
I am ready. I am ready. This is huge. Welcome to Go to the Metaverse. Our good friend of the show, NFT Goat, said, skip the Goat Bowl today, skip the daily prices. Let's get right into the show. ApeCoin is here. Let's talk about it, Yasi. Are you excited? Because I am thrilled.
Well, I don't know who isn't excited about free money. Last time I checked, nobody. So yeah, I am hell of excited about ApeCoin, what it means for the space, and what Yuga Labs is doing. It has been the talk of the town for the past 24 hours since the announcement came live. And for those of you who have been sleeping under a rock, what this means is that Bored Ape Yacht Club holders are receiving finally what they've been talking about, ApeCoin. ApeCoin is Yuga Labs' currency that they are using to drive their ecosystem. And there's a lot of talk about what that means, what it's going to do, and who are going to be accepting ApeCoin. First and foremost, well, Bored Ape Yacht Club members are going to be getting a free airdrop of their tokens. And depending on what you're holding, whether it's an ape, a mutant, or a Bored Ape Kennel Club, you're getting a different distribution awarded to you. So that is the big news. That is the big talk. We're going to go deep into all of the elements of that, every single component, so that at the end of the show, you will know exactly what is happening, and you can make your own decisions on whether you are buying, selling, holding, and what this means moving forward. Stanley, kick us off.
I mean, Yuga Labs is having some week, right? In a week's time, they came out and said, know your customer. Everyone is like, boo Yuga. They bought Larva Labs. Everyone is like, yay Yuga. And now they just dropped ApeCoin. Huge week. So let's break down the numbers. What does that mean? If you are an Bored Ape only holder, you get 10,094 tokens that you could claim right now, right away. If you are a mutant ape holder, you get 2,042 tokens. If you own a Bored Ape and a dog, you get 10,950 tokens. And if you own a mutant ape and a dog, you get 2,898 tokens. Now, sounds like good numbers. What did trading open up at today? Yasser?
Trading opened up at about $12, depending on where you look. Some say 20, but from CoinGecko, it looked like it opened up at about $12.68. The floor price of that, or the price, has been tumbling down. It is sitting at about $7 so far. But we're seeing some buyers at that price point, and it's climbing back up. But even at $7, your 10,950 tokens, if you hold your ape, a dog, and a mutant, well, that's worth a cool $78,000. I'll just say that number again, $78,000. We did the math. Go ahead.
For those, and I apologize, but for those that are not comprehending this, just by owning this NFT, you woke up this morning and you logged into your Meta account, you claimed your tokens, and you decided to sell it right away. You're talking about $70,000. I don't know what the average salary in the United States is, but I'm going to assume it's not that.
It's not that. And that was an initial purchase, if you remember. Bored Ape Yacht Club struggled to sell out in the beginning, and that was sold at $150. Now, a few people probably still hold their ape that they purchased originally, but for those that did, their $150 is worth today $430,000. So if you were one of the lucky few who held your ape all this time, and we say all this time, but really it's 11 months. If you held your ape all this time over an 11-month period, you have made yourself a cool 1,945x return. I don't know if there's a better return ever in the history. I don't think Bitcoin even performed that Ethereum, nothing else. This is probably going down in the record books as the best trade of all time. For those right-click savers out there who say, well, why can't I just right-click and save your Bored Ape? Well, you could, but I don't think you would have made yourself $430,000 in the process.
I'm still absolutely shocked and stunned. And you're saying for Doge, there are a few people out there with a bag of apes, right? Dingaling, Jimmy Eve. Some of these guys have over 100 apes. I mean, they are holding moolah, cashola, real money. And, kudos to those guys for not selling and believing in the brand right away. And look, I know we talk about apes all the time. I know we talk about NFTs, and for the common person, they're like, this is crazy. What are you guys talking about? Is this Ape Coin sustainable? It's all going to go to zero. So 11 Residents, which is a lifestyle brand that originally started with one of the hottest nightclubs and strip clubs in Miami, and now they're building 11 Residents, which I believe apartments started around the $3 million mark, announced, we're accepting Ape Coins. Let's go. So you could go and buy your ape with an Ape Coin. I mean, sorry, buy your
apartment,
your $3 million apartment with an Ape Coin, which tells me, hey, is there actually going to be this ecosystem for this coin? We know they talked about there's going to be gaming. We know they talked about it's going to be used for, commerce and merch and all these different things. But if brands start accepting it, buildings start accepting it, is $7 cheap? Is $12 cheap? Can this thing go up to $20, $30, $50? Is that something that could be done? I mean, if we're going to talk about it, I'm sure you and I are going to say, I don't know. That's a hard task because there's so much in supply. But on a different perspective, don't bet against Yuga. We've been proven this before. Never say never.
Never say never. Well, let's talk through some of those tokenomics so people can get a better idea on what it is that is actually happening and go through that supply mechanism. So what Yuga has told us about ApeCoin is that they are releasing ApeCoin over a period of time. There will only ever be 1 billion coins in the market. It's not a small number, but 1 billion coins. If you even use the current price and you use a fully diluted market cap at 1 billion coins at $7, which is where the price is at currently. Well, that's putting Yuga Labs at $7 billion valuation. We know that they raised recently at a $5 billion valuation. So that's a small premium on top of their current raise. Whether 5 billion was the right number or not, well, that's what they fetched from pretty seasoned investors. And now the market is saying at this price point at $7, we think that total supply should be worth about 7 billion. So theoretically, they're actually on the cheap side right now, because at the 5 billion, they didn't have a token. They were just at their floor prices of their apes. Now they're building this ecosystem, like you just heard, 11 being one of those clubs and brands that are starting to accept their token. And we think there's going to be a lot more of that happening. Initial supply, they put through how much each of their contributors, how much the Bored Ape Yacht Club are going to receive. Bored Ape Yacht Club and the Yuga Labs founders are taking a big chunk of the initial supply. We worked it out, 24% in total. Some of that goes to charity, but they're taking 24% of that supply, which is locked for 12 months and then starts being vested out. So you'll see that supply coming onto the market. 62% of the total supply is for what they call their ecosystem fund, roughly $620 million tokens. First 150 million of that are going to the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Yacht Club holders. So that's those initial tokens that you are seeing being traded today. Because there is no lock period on them, people can start trading them immediately. People are claiming them, and some of them are selling. Other people are going to be holding, and we'll see where that price points ends as the trading volume starts to settle down, and as we start to see more announcements coming from Yuga. My expectation is that they haven't told us everything yet. We're going to be seeing drips of new partnerships, new people accepting ApeCoin, and other partners entering the space. We've already seen Sandbox saying that Sandbox will be accepting ApeCoin for the purchase of land and in-game currency. And I have no doubt we're going to see more announcements of that nature coming soon from the Yuga Labs team and from the partners that they have most likely already signed up.
And I think it's interesting that they created a board for their DAO, and all the members of the board are actually not Yuga employees, right, or founders, but some notable names on there. Alexis from Reddit is on there. Yat from Animica Brands. Amy Wu from FTX. All ape holders as well, as we can see. And one other rumor I heard, and I don't know if you heard the same thing, and I don't know if this is true. In order to invest in Yuga's latest round, which was at a $5 billion raise, you actually had to own an ape, which I thought was mind-blowing. That if they could raise the money that they're raising and you had to have an ape holder, you know, that's them saying,
you're going to be part of this community.
You are, yeah. We're staying true to the community. We didn't go out there and raise it just from any, you know, Dick, Joe, and Harry. We got it from you guys, the community.
So what do we think this means for the community? What do we think this means for Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club? If you are today holding one of those, what should you be doing, or where do we think this is going to go? Well, that is the $1 million question. I don't have a magic 8-ball, but what I anticipate to happen is we should start seeing the floor prices for both mutants, apes, and kennels starting to take a tumble. We saw them at about 63 ETH a couple of days ago, or about a week ago, driving all the way up to 105 ETH on the Bored Ape Yacht Club side of things, and mutants and kennel equally moving up. I expect to see those starting to tumble now as people claim their tokens and start trading. And we may go back to the 60, 70 price point that we were at a week ago and be able to see that correction starting to happen. So that's probably first thing. Probably the frenzy is over now. We know what the tokens are. Could be a good time for people who want to now enter the community. I don't know how the token changes things. Like, they're going to have to start separating out their community, starting to say, well, if you're an OG holder of a Bored Ape, you get this type of premium access to the stuff that we're doing, or you get additional airdrops, or you get something special in order for the Bored Ape itself to still maintain value if they're moving to this token economy where you can use tokens to get access to things. So we should start seeing a tiering out of their community. And what does that mean for the strength of the community? What does that mean for the culture of the community? Well, only time will tell on how that plays out. And I'd be interested to see what's going to happen there. My kind of view would be to wait for the token pumpers to start pumping, probably take some profits, and continue to hold my ape and mutant and kennel and see where this goes from here, because now they have an entire network that they're building with this token, and in 11 months, you couldn't fault them. You've got a team here that is able to out-execute everyone else in the market.
Not financial advice. My take on is don't count them out. I mean, like you said, that news is going to drip. There has to be some behind-the-scenes things in the works. And if some major organization says, hey, we're Nike or one of these brands, and we're accepting ApeCoin right now, Tesla, we're accepting ApeCoin right now, holy moly, that thing is going to pump. And maybe these numbers that we're seeing right now look like really cheap price points. Once again, do your research, not financial advice. Not bad to take profits off the table, but if you're not in the ecosystem, I also think it's not a bad thing to jump in and play around with being in the ecosystem by purchasing the coin, which I think is reason why some of these brands create coins, right? You can't afford an ape, you can't afford a mutant. Well, go buy a coin for $7 or whatever the price is, and now you're part of the community, right? You're in that ecosystem, so and you're in there for a pretty cheap price. Let's talk about real quickly before we go the Goat Bowl. What's the Goat Bowl, Yassi? I'm almost out of energy talking about everything that happened in
NFT land. The Goat Vault is back up $63,651. Goat Vault tracks the market sentiment of the NFT world pretty well, but for those of you who haven't heard about it, the Goat Vault is our way to reward our community. We have locked away a number of pretty special NFTs into a vault that is kept secure, with armed guards watching it throughout the night. And when we get to 5,000 subscribers, we are going to open up that vault and reward our community with the contents of the vault, which is those fancy, shiny NFTs. You could win yourself a cool cat, a Wilder woman, a Jenkins the valet, a goat in and of itself. You name it, it's in the vault. Today, we're at $63,000. At its peak, was worth $94,000, and we think it's going to go back up there. So smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, tell your friends, share this with everyone. And before we end off, that's everything about the Goat Vault, but let's just see how the market has responded to this news of ApeCoin and what's happening in the rest of the NFT world. And it looks like, drum roll, the rest of the NFT world is, well, they're very bullish about Bored Ape Yacht Club, not so bullish about everything else. Everything else seems to be down. Bored Ape Yacht Club is up. CryptoPunk's down. Mutant down. Invisible Friends down. Guttercat, Clonex, Doodles, Cool Cats, V-Friends, and Cyberkong's all down. Well, I think ETH is up. My prediction, people are going to take profits from their ApeCoin and start deploying it into some of these blue chips. And my anticipation, by next week, these things will be up.
That's right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show. I know I did. I'm excited. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Our goal is simple. We just want to provide as much value as we can. Hopefully you make some money along the way. Hashtag not financial advice. And have some fun. We'll see you back here again mañana.